G'day guys and gal. My god, it's been a whirlwind of a weekend. We started strong with the drunk stream, which resulted in me waking up in a pool of my own vomit. Continuing off the worst hangover of my life, it turns out my computer's graphics card has shit itself, rendering 2/3 of my monitors disabled, and my only functioning monitor remaining is covered in annoying purple specks. Goodbye $2,000 graphics card, the 3 months I had you were good. To add to the spice, we then received not one, but 2 community guideline strikes for spam, deceptive content, and other strange accusations. And then my microphone stopped working. So yeah, let's just say it was a grim time, but she'll be right. Strikes are removed, brought a new microphone, and warranties are a thing. To commemorate this silly weekend, we have a silly video. Warhammer 40k has years of lore and dozens of writers. That means dozens of different opinions on how things should have gone down. This has resulted in some hilariously stupid things and really inconsistent power scaling. Before we get started, I want to share something that was sent to me. Fan-made projects like Astartes and Death of Hope have been massive positive contributors to the community. It has shone a light on Warhammer and undoubtedly brought dozens of thousands if not more people into the hobby. So when Tiber showed me his project, an animated adaptation of Graham McNeil's The Last Church, I instantly agreed to shout it out. For those that don't know, The Last Church is a story about the very last church on Terra towards the end of the Unification Wars, as the Emperor has been destroying all traces of church and religion. And this is a great example of great narrative without requiring excessive amounts of bolter porn. Tiber set up a Kickstarter to help raise the last bit of money needed to pay the animator and other members of the team, so if you're interested then consider checking them out. I chucked them a couple bucks personally. Like I said, I'm not being paid to share this with you guys, I just love seeing fan-made projects come to life and continue to enrich the community. Today I've put together my top 10 stupidest moments in lore that should definitely not be canon. Obviously there are more than 10 moments, so make sure you comment below any parts of the lore which you never heard. To clarify, I will also include stupid themes in this list, or stupid characters in this list. There is also no real order to this list. It's a stupid fucking list, okay? Let's get into it. Kicking us off, we have the time an unarmored World Eater was able to punch through an armored Custodes and rip out his spine, in the novel Outcast Dead. For context, this would be like Stephen Hawking punching a hole through the mountain. And yes, I'm referring to current day corpse Stephen in this example. A Custodes is an entire league above a Space Marine in every aspect. They are faster, smarter and stronger, with multiple in-lore instances of them slicing through Space Marines like I sliced through Timmy's spleen. But Majorkill, the World Eater was angry, and when World Eaters are angry, they become Primarch tier. Silence your mouth, Timmy, before I once again slice through your spleen. Yes, the World Eater's gimmick is to Hulk rage and get powerful based on their rage, but that in itself is stupid. World Eaters should be extinct by now, all they do is kill each other and get killed in battle. They basically have 0 apothecaries and no psychers, cause they killed them all. But despite this, they're still considered a massive threat. Bang, that's a stupid moment and stupid theme bundled into one. What can I say other than, you're welcome. But yeah, it's genuinely unfathomable that a Space Marine could do this to a Custodes, or even to a Rawmite armor, so I'll just pin this one down to Graham McNeil having nails drilled into his brain, or a World Eater boner so hard that it would make Slanesh blush. Next up, we have a moment so stupid that Games Workshop themselves retconned it out of existence. We all know the Grey Knights, incorruptible bastions of faith, that purge demons and heretics wherever they find them. Well, turns out they're all retarded assholes who killed a group of hyper-loyal Sisters of Battle and then bathed in their blood in an attempt to avoid being corrupted, which wasn't an issue to begin with, as they've stated they are incorruptible. Basically what happens is that in the 5th edition Grey Knight Codex, a planet is being molested by a bloodthirster using some spicy technology. He is basically able to drive the entire planet into a Cornite frenzy, and loss of death ensures. The only ones to be unaffected are a convent of Sisters of Battle who are defending themselves at a holy site. The Grey Knights decide that the best course of action would not be to recruit the aid of their battle babes or save them, no, they decided to completely fuck them up and then bathe in their blood, as a way of keeping corruption away, cause yeah, there's no way to protect yourself from the blood god like massacring loyal subjects of the Emperor and then covering yourself with their insides. Blood for the god, Emperor. They then went on to do Grey Knight stuff and save the day, yada yada da. The reason why this is stupid, well, there's like 20 reasons why, but the main one is that in this exact same codex, it talks about how Grey Knights cannot be corrupted anyway, so the whole thing was just completely pointless. The story was retconned to basically not include the Sisters of Battle debacle, and instead added in a scene where the Sisters actually save our Cheese Lord Caldor Drago, so I guess, they redeemed a little bit. A moment so stupid it doesn't even exist anymore. Moving away from an exact moment, we have a stupid character with stupid powers that shouldn't exist. Lucius. It's funny that it takes Alpha Boozer and his team putting on a stupid voice and making Lucius gay before he's finally likable, so it blows my mind that Games Workshop do everything in their power to keep this retard around. If you didn't know, Lucius is a special gimmick where basically whoever kills him gets possessed and taken over by him, if they take pride in the action of killing him. This sounds kinda cool until you realise some of the completely retarded times it applies. Firstly, Lucius is once killed by a Necron. Now Necrons are made of metal and have no soul and no connection to the warp. Despite this, Lucius is still able to reincarnate within the Necron and overtake his body using a warp soul-based ability. If you think that is stupid, then how about the time that Lucius stepped on a landmine and died, only to reincarnate and take over the body of the factory worker who built the landmine, as he took pride in making weapons for the Imperium. I cannot wait for the day where Lucius gets cut in half by a fucking servitor who can only feel the binary codes of depression due to being so lobotomized that they actually wish Lucius would overtake them so they can feel something. Now for the first stupid theme on this list, we have Games Workshop being overly grimdark just to be able to say, hey, look at how fucked up our lore is, despite it being totally unnecessary some of the time. I'm not saying I don't like the grimdark theme, it's great. We have aliens that eat your planet, 7-foot tall rape elves, and a lot of general unhappiness with the galaxy, but shit like penitent engines being a thing, or the fact that the Imperial Navy uses thousands of slaves to load their cannons when autoloaders exist is just stupid. For those that don't know, a penitent engine is basically a mech/torture device where someone accused of some bullshit heresy is loaded with so many drugs that nothing short of their brain being blown out will put them down. It's like the Ecclesiarchy's version of a dreadnought, however the design is so stupid, like the pilot is completely exposed, basically naked, hence someone with half decent aim and a pistol could take one of these out. They seem more like a basement dweller's BDSM fantasy more than a valid unit. Like, look at that model, Jesus Christ, have fun jerking off to that, you filthy man. You could go on to say that Demoncula Bar falls into this territory of unnecessarily grimdark. I mean, if you want to know what that is, feel free to search it up, I won't be showing what it is. But I kind of respect how the writer was like, what is the absolute most fucked up thing we can physically think of and publish? So I'll let that one slide. Another entry on this list, which basically just serves to disrespect our glorious golden men, is when during the Beast Arises series, a group of Harlequins that don't even have a solitaire easily cut through and massacre a whole bunch of custodies defending the Imperial Palace. The whole setup of this was stupid. Eldrad wanted to send a message to the God Emperor of mankind, so he got a bunch of Harlequins to try break into the throne room and deliver it. They cut their way through dozens of custodies before being stopped. Many of the kills were simply one quick cut here or a short stab there. Custodians are known to survive things such as losing half their brain, or being scorched by the God Emperor's psychic might for decades, so a quick cut from a Harlequin's blade, a cut that should never have been able to land in the first place, should do fuck all.
But Majorkill, those custodians that died were probably rookies, as many custodians were new due to most of them dying in the Horus Heresy.
Shut the fuck up, Timmy! A custodes is a custodes. Even a rookie custodes, if that term even exists, considering their training and biological makeup, should still be able to withstand a Harlequin attack, if not outright crush it, especially considering their superior numbers. There are some theories that the writer got the Custodes confused with another variant of less powerful guard, but that excuse is bullshit, as a writer should know what he is talking about. Fortunately, in recent times, it looks like the Custodes are getting the respect they deserve, and I haven't seen any instances of shit like this happening in recent times. Also, I totally back the Custodes' decision to exterminate that Renegade Primaris chapter. Next up, we have a bit of a funny one. Games Workshop's ability to count and scale. The conflicts of Warhammer 40k are simultaneously both massive and tiny due to Games Workshop's extreme mathematical retardation. The galaxy feels so large yet small at the same time. The Imperium contains 1 million worlds, with Terra itself said to be population of quadrillions or more, yet you get shit like a Space Marine chapter only having 1,000 Marines, or various gigantic wars like the Ullanor Crusade or the Wars of Armageddon having less combatants and casualties than some of the wars we've had in real life. The devastation of Bal only had 30,000 Space Marines involved in a war against countless million Tyranids, and they were able to hold out long enough to get saved by Gulliman. Each Space Marine would have had to kill at least 100 Tyranids or more for this to seem balanced, which when you factor in a Hive Tyrants, Carnifexes and other Tyranid forms that have proven to be greater than Space Marines, it gets a bit silly. In my opinion, and I believe the opinions of many others, adding an extra digit to the unit count of any Warhammer army or conflict solves this problem dramatically. It is way more fathomable and epic that the Ullanor Crusade, the largest and final conflict of the Great Crusade, would take 1 million Space Marines and 80 million Guardsmen against 200 million Orcs, rather than just 100,000 Space Marines and 8 million Guardsmen that were given in the lore. This epic system-wide conflict has like 4 times less combatants than World War I, not to mention that the Imperium has about the same amount of planets that it does Space Marines. If chapters had 10,000 Marines instead of 1,000, it would make their feats a lot more understandable and way less jarring. Now you probably heard of this next stupid theme, but it's the Wharfing Effect, mainly towards the avatar of Cain. Games Workshop have been overusing a technique to display the strength of named characters to such a degree that it's devolved in a stupid fucking meme. Cue the avatar of Cain, a shard of the god of war, a massive flaming beast who literally burns anything within its radius, gets killed by everyone and their cat. This dude has been strangled to death by Fulgrim, punched to death by Marneus Calgar, possessed by a demon of Slaanesh, possessed by a Genestealer Patriarch, melted some ice and then drowned in said melted ice, killed by the Legion of Damned, the list just goes on. Basically, because avatars of Cain can be killed with no consequence to the plot, as you know there's a lot of them and they might regenerate anyway, Games Workshop wanks over using them as a look how cool this character is, they killed an avatar of Cain, when in reality it's just starting to piss people off. The same effect applies to the Swarm Lord. A beast considered the most advanced apex predator the Tyranids can come up with has had its ass kicked time and time again, usually in stupid ways. Purely because it doesn't matter if it dies, the Tyranids can just respawn it whenever they want. Stop it, Games Workshop, it's a cheap tactic and we're sick of it. My boy Cain deserves better. The next stupid thing on this list is Matt Ward and his era of ultra autism, especially Marneus Calgar. Matt Walk ironically sucked off the Ultramarines so hard that instead of elevating them to the god tier position that he was trying to, he instead plunged them into the meme zone, where everyone just fucking hated them, making them win every battle despite stupid odds. Marneus ripping up Necron pylons and using them as baseball bats, Kaito Sicarius beating a Catan shard. Even after Matt Ward fucked off to go be a neckbeard somewhere else, the Ultramarine status as joke chapter remained. People new to the hobby started making fun of them as well, despite barely even knowing anything about them. People actually thought calling them Smurfs was considered good comedic value, like holy shit. It took the literal resurrection of their Primarch followed by some kick-ass writing before people were finally like, oh wait, these guys are kinda cool, I better delete all my Smurf porn now. Marneus Calgar as a character also needs to just fucking die. After years of pulling endless cheese out of his ass, his Primarch returned and he became a Primaris Marine to end up face to face with Abaddon. His character arc was well and truly complete, yet despite getting absolutely molested by Abaddon, he still survived, for no real reason. Imagine how good it would have been for the story if you had a character who became a Primaris, got a new model, only to get killed. It would show the grittiness of 40k and how no one is safe. It would remove the safety net of plot armor and reinvest people into the lore. There's not going to be another good chance to kill the old man for a while now, so he's just going to sit there and exist for a little while longer. I guess with Matt Ward gone, at least he won't be collecting all the Infinity Stones or smacking the hive mind with a level 100 dildo anytime soon. Next up, we have something so stupid your brain probably blocks it out. However, I'm going to unblock it for you, so sorry about that. To be fair, I have a solution for your brain just after this, but bear with me, I'll get to it. Space Wolves using the word wolf. I'm not even going to explain this one, I'm just going to say some things until your brain hurts. You ready? Wolf Lord. Great Wolf. Wolf King, Wolfen, Wolf Packs, Thunder Wolf Cavalry, Wolf Scouts, Lone Wolves, Wolf Blade, Wolf Priests. The list goes on and you get the point. These are all different ranks and positions within the Space Wolves, and there are dozens more that allude to wolves, like the use of calling their squads packs, or the endless fang, claw and other furry bullshit references. I don't know why the Space Wolves seem to be the only ones who the writers got so lazy they just chuck wolf in front of everything, but it's very stupid. The Blood Angels don't have Blood Lord or Blood Cavalry in front of all their names, nor do the Imperial Fists actually fist anyone, so it makes no sense that the wolves get done like this. They're supposed to be space Vikings whose spiritual animal is a wolf, but the Viking part is put aside for no apparent reason. I'm all for themes, but come on mate. Now that I have ruined Space Wolves for you, let me unruin them. I read this somewhere and I'm not sure if it's canon, but it's 100% my head canon and it should be yours too. I read that the word wolf doesn't exist in the Ferenzian language, the language of the Space Wolves, so each of these things are called something else by the Space Wolves. However, the Imperium doesn't have a High Gothic word for any of these Ferenzian words, hence they just translate each of these different words all into the word wolf. I think this is a great explanation and makes this go from fucking retarded to, oh, okay, haha, that's interesting and kind of funny. Our last stupid thing on this list, but definitely not the last stupid thing in the lore, we have the time a single Tyranid Zoanthropes destroyed an entire craft world. Epic. When a craft world falls, it's not something that's supposed to happen due to ignorance or flat out stupidity. Yes, the Elder are arrogant, but they aren't stupid, especially when it comes to Tyranids. When a craft world loses to Tyranids, it should be like Liandon, where it is an epic desperate struggle for survival, not like Malantai, where it's just silly. Basically what happens is a Tyranid bioship attacks Malantai, who were able to defeat it easily. A single Zoanthrop, I fucking don't know how to say that word, which had randomly mutated to eat souls instead of flesh, was able to get past the Elder and into their Infinity Circuit, which basically contains unlimited souls. Firstly, the Elder don't just let shit get to their Infinity Circuit. Secondly, they have the ability to sense danger and see the future. I think the random apocalyptic death of your craft world would raise a few flags with your Farseers. And finally, are you serious? A single Tyranid was able to eat so many souls that it turned into an unkillable raid boss and destroyed the entire craft world. Shit like this is genuinely insulting to Eldar and Tyranid players. There's literally no winner here. The Eldar lose a craft world and the Tyranid win because their enemy was stupid, not because they actually deserve the win. To add to that, they haven't used this uber powerful Tyranid in the lore since then at all. You would assume that they would take this stupid plot point at least to make a new threat to the galaxy and a new Tyranid named character, but no, they just make the thing fuck off. Jeez Louise. And that does this for today, guys. The top 10 most stupid moments, themes and characters in Warhammer 40k lore. I'm a firm believer that when something is canon, you have to accept it. However, that doesn't mean you can't mock it or laugh at it. It's also good to fill in the gaps with your own headcanon, like I do with the Space Wolf naming convention. If you enjoyed the video and want to support me as a creator, then Patreon is the place to be. Only $1 gives you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai, and $10 gives you access to the exclusive Warhammer hentai calendar when it comes out. I'm spending over $1,000 on artwork and production of that calendar, so I'm really excited to show you guys how it turns out. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.